Imagine this. Your most experienced employee calls in sick on a busy day. A new dental assistant has to cover the front desk. How much knowledge is suddenly unavailable? How much of your day depends on someone remembering how your practice handles insurance questions, scheduling problems, treatment follow-up, upset patients, financing, and dozens of other situations? Smarter Practice AI gives your team a managed, practice-owned ChatGPT workspace. It includes dental-specific GPT coaches and a shared knowledge base that we help you build and maintain. Think of it as expertise on demand. Every employee has somewhere to ask questions, think through a problem, practice a difficult situation, and find the knowledge your practice has already developed. The goal is simple. Help employees learn faster, help them follow your workflows, help them give more consistent answers, and keep valuable knowledge inside the practice. AI is already becoming part of everyday dental operations. The American Dental Association reports that more than 2 out of 5 dentists already use AI for at least one practice task, and many more plan to. Large dental organizations and dental insurers are also adopting AI across administrative, operational, and claims-related work. Independent practices do not need to copy a DSO's technology stack. The opportunity is to build your own AI capability around your standards, your knowledge, and your team, and to do it before the gap becomes harder to close. Getting started is surprisingly simple. Your team uses the same familiar ChatGPT interface that millions of people already recognize, but through our managed workspace. There is no new practice management system to learn. There is no complicated data migration, and there is no reason to overhaul everything at once. So we configure the workspace, provide access to our dental-specific GPT coaches, and help your practice begin building its shared knowledge. Why not simply use a regular ChatGPT account? Standard ChatGPT is a powerful blank canvas, but the result still depends on what an individual employee knows to ask, how well they explain the situation, and whether they provide the right context. Different employees can receive very different answers. Useful work can also become scattered across personal accounts and disappear when someone leaves. Smarter Practice. AI uses the same leading open AI technology, but surrounds it with preparation that a standard account does not automatically provide. Our GPT coaches contain maintained instructions, structured questions, dental workflow guidance, review checkpoints, and specific output formats. Each coach is designed for a particular kind of dental practice work. It does more than produce an answer. It helps an employee slow down, identify missing information, ask better questions, and turn the conversation into something useful. That could be a checklist, a patient communication script, an onboarding plan, a decision summary, a training exercise, or a clearly organized next step. That is what makes our GPTs smarter for the work your dental team actually performs. Consider a new front desk employee. That person needs to learn how your office answers insurance questions, how it handles cancellations, how it discusses financing, transfers calls, follows up on unscheduled treatment, and responds to a frustrated patient. Normally, much of that training depends on an office manager repeatedly explaining the same procedures while also trying to run the practice. With Smarter Practice AI, the manager can approve the practice's preferred language, policies, checklists, and examples once. The new employee can then use a GPT coach to ask questions, review the correct workflow, practice realistic patient conversations, and receive feedback. It should feel natural, like walking into the office manager's office, calling a consultant, or asking your most experienced employee for guidance. The difference is that the coach is available when the employee needs it, without interrupting the busiest person in the practice. The manager remains in control of the standard, but no longer has to be the only person capable of explaining it. This supports onboarding, continuing education, cross-training, and unexpected coverage between roles. Over time, the workspace becomes a practical operating memory for the practice. Approved phone standards, workflows, policies, checklists, scripts, training materials, and recurring decisions become resources that the right team members can find and use through a familiar conversation. Instead of searching through a static handbook that is hard to navigate and rarely updated, an employee simply explains what they are trying to accomplish. The coach guides them toward the relevant practice knowledge. When managers and employees improve a workflow, that knowledge can be organized and made reusable for the rest of the team. And when an experienced employee leaves, the practice does not have to lose everything that person helped develop. Their access can be removed. The reusable knowledge stays with the practice and continues helping the team. Every dental practice has moments when someone thinks, I wish I could ask our office manager, or I wish our consultant were available. That is the mental model behind our GPT coaches. Need help organizing the response to an insurance denial? Open the claims coach. Need to prepare for tomorrow's morning huddle? Open the huddle coach. Need to practice a difficult patient conversation? Open the patient role play coach. Need to improve treatment follow-up? Open the case acceptance coach. Owners can also use specialized coaches to think through staffing, technology, marketing, PPO participation, and growth decisions with more structure. Instead of waiting for the next meeting, searching through documents, or interrupting another employee, the team starts a conversation with the appropriate coach. The AI does not replace the experience or judgment of your team. It helps your people apply that judgment more consistently and turn what they know into reusable practice assets. Practice owners are not purchasing AI simply because it is new. They are purchasing faster access to expertise. They are gaining a trainer that can help employees practice repeatedly, a thinking partner for difficult decisions, and a way to preserve institutional knowledge. For an owner, that means less dependence on one or two key employees and more of the practice's knowledge staying with the business. For an office manager, it means less time repeating the same instructions, faster onboarding, and a more consistent way to train and support the team. For employees, it means having somewhere to ask questions, practice difficult situations, and get useful guidance without always waiting for the busiest person in the office. Standard ChatGPT gives an individual employee a blank canvas. Smarter Practice AI gives the entire practice prepared GPT coaches, managed team access, and a knowledge base that becomes more valuable as the practice uses it. Visit smarterpractice.ai and select Start Trial. Enroll your practice in a fully functional trial with access to all our GPT coaches. Begin with one workflow where your team regularly loses time, knowledge, or consistency. Open the appropriate coach and talk to it the same way you would talk to a trusted consultant, your office manager, or your most experienced employee. You are not searching through documents, and you are not trying to construct the perfect prompt. You are having a conversation with a coach designed to understand the kind of work you are trying to accomplish. Your team can use the real workspace, work with the GPT coaches, and begin building something useful immediately. Think of Smarter Practice AI as giving every member of your team access to the collective experience of your practice, organized, searchable, and available whenever they need it. The best time to preserve and strengthen that knowledge is before the employee who carries it is unavailable.